that haven't seen this deck before, this is basically a combo control deck that eventually, through the use of Lich's Mastery and Chance for Glory alongside the Mirari Conjecture, generates infinite turns. I'll play a few matches with this. Any standard streams this weekend? I'm definitely going to stream this weekend at some point. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing standard or modern, though. I think I've got a bunch of modern decks that have a lot of points in the queue, so I probably should do some modern. I might do a little of column A, a little of column B. Like, start with a modern deck or two and then pivot into standard. All right. The sample hands in this deck are kind of wild. I think this is a keep. I've got Discovery to dig for stuff. I'm going to lead on Isolated Chapel here, and the reason I want to lead on Isolated Chapel is because Island is going to bring these two dual lands into play untapped, so by leading on this, we potentially have the rest of our lands untapped in our hand. I think rather than Discovery this turn, I'd rather just Gateway Plaza and get my mana base situated. Hey, great Santi, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub there, I appreciate that, welcome. Go ahead and Discovery here. Digging for our namesake card at this point. Honestly, I think Gift of Paradise isn't something I need right now. I just have so many lands that I don't even need the fixing from it, which is nice. Using my dollar show support for Arena. Well, thank you. All of the standard content that we do on this channel is done on Arena moving forward. Awesome, Noom. Yeah, this current standard format is the best Magic format that I've probably played since I started playing Magic. It's very, very good. Get our Azcanta going here. We're playing the Phoenix deck and miss some land drops, it looks like. Settle the Wreckage being in our hand here is going to be very good here. The Phoenix deck, generally speaking, doesn't play any counter spells game 1. So this Settle should just, like, put them in the ground. How long have I been playing Magic for? I started playing Magic casually during Apocalypse back in 2000, 2001. And I started playing Magic competitively on the SCG series in 2013. And I played Magic very competitively from 2014 to 2016, and then kind of took a break to focus on doing more content stuff like this. I've been streaming full-time here on Twitch since the start of the year. Just, okay, Mastermind's Acquisition, So there's 6 cards in there. So if I Mastermind's Acquisition here, I get to guaranteed play, or flip my Azcanta next turn. Are there videos of me online participating in Magic tournaments? Yeah, if you look on Star City's YouTube archives, you can find a bunch of them. I actually top 8'd the Modern Open that I played this year, and I top 16'd the team tournament that I played this year. So there's even recent videos of me playing online. I think I'm actually just going to pass the turn here, because Settle the Wreckage is pretty good in the face of, well, they have 3 birds in their bin, so I'm just going to pass here. So I don't play... So when I say I played very competitively from 2014 to 2016, I mean I played tournament Magic like 25 weekends a year for those 3 years. And now I just play, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 events a year. Not nearly as many. So the birds are coming back. We'll see how many birds they attack with here. This is one of the problems with Settle the Wreckage. While Settle the Wreckage is obviously a very powerful card, it's often very telegraphed when you have it. So I honestly wouldn't be super surprised if we only attacked with 1 or 2 birds here. I think 2 birds is the conservative play. It pushes a lot of damage, but it's enough of a threat that, like, if I have the Settle, I'm likely to pull the trigger on the Settle. That's true. Yeah, if you want to see video of me playing tournament Magic, looking for the Owling My videos is probably a good place to start. Huh. I'm gonna take Lich's Mastery here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and Mastermind's Acquisition, I think. I just want to take Revitalize here. And one of the things that's nice about the Lich deck here, especially when we're not playing, they likely don't have counterspells game one. I think I would rather, I can use my health total as a bit of a resource here until I eventually then jam the Lich's Mastery. They have Primal Amulet. Okay, that's terrifying. So not quite a stock, Phoenix list. That's some sweet technology. Please stop trying to tap my Azcanta, Magic Arena. Goodbye, friends. Whew. I like me some modal cards, chat. Cards got modes. Oh, you know what? I should have shocked that in, probably. Because my health total doesn't really matter. And having the untapped land for after I play Lich's Mastery can be valuable. Sometimes you gotta go rogue from the auto tapper. It's just not gonna do what you want. But that's okay. You don't have to turn the auto tapper off. You could just make it do what you want while leaving it on. That's why the auto tapper is beautiful. Even when it's not perfect, it's very easy to do things manually still. Second Mastery, not quite so useful. That's a good draw. Stop trying to tap my Azcanta, game. I feel like the auto tapper is just like, Jeff has said so many good things about me. I must now embarrass him in front of a large audience of people. He's been such a positive auto tapper. They have Fiery Cannoneer in their main deck too. Okay, I wonder if they're playing more of a control build. Maybe they don't have the 3-mana Drake in their deck. Yeah, they got Lava Coil in the main too. Opponent's build seems really neat. Oh, I have a bunch of black symbols in my hand, so the game wants to keep that open. I guess that makes sense. Professor Knox was very gracious to host us with almost 2,000 people. Kind of looking for a fog here, right? I guess an extra turn card could also be good. So, do I want a Lich's Master at this point? If I Master, I can't also Contempt. I guess I'm just gonna start. God, stop it! Stop trying to tap my thing! I wonder if they have counterspells in their main deck. The way they're playing makes me feel like they might have counterspells in their main deck, which is scary. And like, these Contempts are basically fogs, right? Because like this is only dealing 3, so like gaining 2. They could have dive down, that's true. I don't know, with the more controlling cards they have, I feel like they're probably not a dive down deck, right? Oh, that's probably true. Just tap the non-black sources. That's a good catch. Yep. Countering cast down with dive down feels like a flavor win. All right, so we're bringing back another bird here. And this is their last bird, right? Because we exiled the other 2. Yep. Sure. down to 10. So next turn probably going to be a Lich's Mastery turn. Ideally, we're going to find the take extra turn card here. Wow, they do have Baby Drake, huh? Was not expecting Baby Drake there. The flip land is search for Azcanta. Second Conjecture. It's probably fine. Third, Lich's Mastery. Perfect. Alright, so I think I actually want to tap the Azcanta this time. I want to leave up extra white, basically. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this. And now I'm gonna cast Revitalize, leaving up white-red, because ideally I'm gonna hit Chance for Glory plus an untapped land here. Conjecture, pick back up, Settle. That's not a terrible line either. Conjecture, pick back up, Settle might have been a good one. Like 27 cards in my deck. Gosh, look how unlucky we are, chat. Just to discard all these cards. Creating a new deck for best of 1 and maybe best of 3 later. I think tokens could be fun. If they have the haste card, we might be dead here. I think tokens has kind of a hard time right now because there's so many Ritual of Soots and Finalities running around. I think if you want to play green-white, you're probably better off playing green-white mid-range. There are a couple of good green-white mid-range decks that did well at the recent Grand Prix. I'd recommend starting there. Gross. So this is 27. How many cards are in my bin? 16. Alright, maybe I should have picked the Settle the Wreckage back up. Oh god. What are we? We're just gonna like time out here, right? I just need to like move really fast. We are actually gonna time out because of this interface. Oh, jeez. Okay, so I'm leaving exactly Mastermind's acquisition in here. I'm going to exile the rest of these. Yeah, I'm just not going to have enough left over here, right? I have to exile 6 more. I think I just keep the Revitalize here. 'Cause I need lands to win. Sure. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need, chat. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think this game's still winnable somehow. I don't know. We're probably gonna figure out that like we can't. Oh god, that is. Yep. All right. We had the glimmer of hope, chat. We had the faintest glimmer of hope. And then it was all brutally ripped away from us. Man, is this matchup unwinnable? I feel like this matchup's probably unwinnable, right? I'm gonna move along with our lives. Let's try another one. Let's pretend that was best of one and move along. The opponent's build seemed really sweet. I like they had a really sweet mix of like controlling and aggressive elements. I think I like this deck the least of the 3 Dirtle decks we've played so far. I think I greatly prefer the Bant Fog or the Esper deck that we've played so far. This deck's got some real clunk to it. like look at this sample hand, right? Could you imagine somebody walking up to you and like keep or mull, and you're just like, mulligan the deck. What are we doing? Like, what is... Yeah, I think both the Bant Fog deck and the Esper Amulet deck that we played are very good. They both felt very reasonable. Sweet, Overgrown Tomb. This deck generally has a very good Overgrown Tomb matchup. Yeah, I agree. I agree that I messed up that last game that we played. Monkey Minded, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. What does Bant mean in deck name? So Magic has these keywords that are not very accessible that are shorthand for 3 color combinations. So Bant refers to a deck that is green, blue, and white. Do I even want a Contempt here? Like, if I save this Contempt for later, it, like, draws cards with my Lich's Mastery. I just feel like there's so many things that are just very awkward with this deck. How many playable cards did hurt Allie to make him put this together? To be fair, there's a number of playable cards in this deck. They're just in a really weird combination. Solitary R3D, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Maybe I should have contempted that there. Is it too early to do this? I think I'm just gonna do this. So black, white, green, another thing, and this is another nomenclature thing. Yeah. So blue is shortened to U in Magic vernacular because B represents black. What an interesting and engaging game of Magic the Gathering my opponent and I have played. So the sideboarding process with this deck against green black decks is very simple. You click done. You click done. Is this an all-time high? We are close to an all-time high. Yep, right about 2,300 is my peak. We had a very gracious host from Nox when he signed off today. Dumped almost 1,900 people into us, and some of them stuck around. Thanks everybody that stuck around through Nox's stream. I appreciate it for dropping in and giving us a chance here. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? I love the saving grace of this deck's mana base is the fact that Discovery can be cast with black mana. I think this deck would be completely non-functional if this card required blue mana to cantrip. Yeah, this card and Gift of Paradise. These two cards together, I feel like are really what pulled this deck together. And it's like, it's better than Priority in a lot of ways, right? Because this card puts cards into our graveyard, which every card in your graveyard in this deck ends up being a health point later for Lich's Mastery, basically. I'm going to bin this, and I'm going to take the Mastery. The card our deck is named after is probably pretty good here. If you're looking for sweet decks to build as your third deck, if you take a look at my website and click Standard Decks at the top, I've got a breakdown of all the decks that I've played so far this season in Standard that I think are really sweet. Let's gas back up here a little bit. Again, one of the things you want to really do when you're playing this deck is you use your health total as a resource very liberally, taking damage in the early game, because once you put Mastery into play, your health total doesn't matter. It becomes completely irrelevant. Angel Havoc, look, I caught a live one. Thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Does Chromatic Lantern work on gates? Chromatic Lantern's all lands, I believe. They might not have enough cards to cut to, like, not have Chupacabra in their deck. It's been 5 months, almost half a year. I love your content. I'm glad I got to see you at the Columbus Open. You playing Standard has made me reconsider playing it again. Thank you for the support, Brian. Hope you're doing well also. The kids had a little bit of a plague earlier this week, which you can maybe hear I'm a little bit congested right now, but they no longer have fevers. They went to school yesterday and today. So that's good. Getting better. Master's Mind's Acquisition. So we'll play the Swamp, which makes this come into play untapped. Do I want to conjecture? I could conjecture, pick back up Revitalize, and then pick back up Divination maybe. That does let Vivian shoot one, but I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I think I'm fine with Vivian shooting this. You think we just Insight again? It could also be just like double Revitalize this turn, but having Revitalize post Lich's Mastery is pretty valuable. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. It's probably just like a draw more cards turn. I don't know that I want to play the Revitalizes necessarily, because the Revitalizes turn into draw 4s when Lich's Mastery is in play. Since Lich's Mastery lets us draw extra cards when we gain health. What am I acquisitioning for? Why is that the play?
The wilds are my shield.
People keep commenting on a lot of our opponent's cards aren't very good in this matchup. That's one of the reasons why this matchup is so good for this deck. The cards in the opponent's deck do not line up well into what our deck is doing. I think it's a mix of the two, Rod. I think this deck was successful because Ali's a good player and because his opponents largely didn't know what was going on. I also think this deck is genuinely good against these green-black decks. So if Ali played against a bunch of green-black decks in the event that he won, I would believe that that's why he did well. Totos, I don't know if you saw earlier, but I had a pretty rough week and the stream is basically the saving grace. Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here helping. Thanks for the support as always. So I think I just pass here and discard a Watery Grave. What we're going to end up doing here is on their turn, we're going to Chance for Glory plus Revitalize, which will give us 2 turns in a row. And taking 2 turns in a row is useful because Lich's Mastery is going to prevent Chance for Glory for killing us, which is nice. So they're not going to kill us this turn. Honestly, I might just want to save the Revitalizes for after the Mastery, because they draw more. That's probably not the case. Do I want to hold both of them for after Mastery? Is that what I want to do? Because, like, using 4 of my 7 mana seems like a lot. And I'd kind of like to get more cards in because, like, I want to be able to cast a copy of Settle the Wreckage if I draw it here. Well, I need to be able to cast the wipe too. All right, if I knew I was drawing another Chance for Glory, I would have saved the Revitalizes. That being said, drawing another Chance for Glory probably means we just win here. All right, so let's start with this. We get to draw 4 here. Perfect. Get the Chance for Glory again, get to Discovery, get to play a tapped land, and then next turn I can actually Mirari Conjecture, get my extra turn card back again. Both of these cards are great. I'm gonna keep those. Yeah, this matchup is very, very good for this deck. This deck struggles against aggressive decks, and it struggles against control decks, but these mid-range decks without counterspells, it just devours. Are we deterministic? I don't think so. I don't think so. How am I deterministic? So this gets back a sorcery. I don't have another Chance for Glory in my deck. If I had a third Chance for Glory, I'd be deterministic here. Can you explain to me how I'm deterministic? But I can't take another turn this turn. Do I have another? I don't have another turn lined up, right? No, this is the at the beginning of the end step I lose the game. So I can't take another turn this turn. No, I don't. When I pass, it's going to their turn. Yeah, next turn I'm gonna combo, but I can't right now. Let's wipe those out. Let's Vraska's Contempt this Vivian. Deterministic means, so this deck has an infinite combo in it, and deterministic means that I've assembled my infinite combo, and I'm going to do my infinite combo and take infinite turns. So deterministic means I'm taking all of the turns, basically. They lit this up. I wonder if they have a trophy here, or if they have a Planeswalker or something. So much mana do I have? They have a trophy. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. This will give me 10. This will give me 11. This deck is incredibly sweet. Can't go infinite. Kill your board. Go, I guess. There's another Cleansing Nova in my deck, right? So this will draw me 3 cards because I gained 3 life. And then I can Mastermind Acquisition here, but I need to leave double white up so I can Cleansing Nova. So I'm just going to kill their board again. Yep. That one. Goodbye, friends. Just clean. Take out the trash. And then for those of you wondering how we eventually win the game, when this deck takes infinite turns, your looping infinite turns involves getting Mastermind Acquisition back, and eventually we Mastermind Acquisition for a copy of Banefire from our sideboard. Only 8 hours left on this drive to Atlanta. I'm planning to be live for, this is our 4th deck. This is our 4th deck. I'm planning to be live for at least 2 more decks after this. So I'm going to be up for probably another 4 or 5 hours at least. You'll have me for most of your drive to Atlanta. So cards like Knight of Autumn and Thief of Sanity on our sideboard is because this deck is rancid dog poop against decks that can interact with it or aggro it out. So the game plan against anything that's not a mid-range deck is to board out your combo and a bunch of our clunky nonsense and board in these efficient threats that could maybe make us not die. Like, I don't know how we ever beat this Phoenix deck. Trains are incredibly expensive, Totos. It is much more expensive to travel by train than by driving in the United States. As if it's not the whole deck. Listen, you can trim a lot of it, okay? I believe we're on the hope they brick and die line, okay? Sounds about right. The US is huge, is the case. Whenever people in other countries talk about how it's unfair that the United States gets so many Grand Prix that we do, I'm always like, do you understand how large the United States is? Like, when I tell people, when I was grinding for Magic tournaments, that we considered any tournament that was less than 6 hours close to us, they're like, driving 6 hours? That's crazy. Well, I mean, Norway's a very small country. Oh, wait, I actually don't know geographically. How physically large is Norway? How many U.S. states? Relate Norway to Texas. How many Norways fit in Texas? Less than Texas. All right, less than a Texas. Goodbye, friends. Norway's 60% of Texas. That's a pretty good size. 60% of Texas is pretty good. All right, so this is probably an end step chance untap Lich, because then I can like gift a paradise and stuff too. But only the bottom third is populated. Okay. No, for purposes of comparing driving distance, the whole physical size is probably what makes the most sense to compare, I would think. All right, we're dead to a counterspell. It's basically this deck's life motto is dead to a counterspell. Because if they counterspell this Lich's Mastery, we lose the game to Chance for Glory. If they don't counterspell this, we get to Gift of Paradise and Vraska's Content and just like draw a bunch of cards here. I lived my early life in Miami, and events in Georgia were significantly far away for me to attend. Yep. Florida is really long. All right. I just Nova here. I think I just Nova here because I don't want to get got by a Dive Down. Dive Down's a card that sees some play in the main deck of the opponent's deck. Am I supposed to pivot into Carnage Tyrants in this matchup? Is this a Lyra Carnage Tyrants matchup? I wonder if I'm just supposed to do this, right? Just like I get into a lot of spots where I can't beat a counterspell. Is it a Thief matchup too? It might just be like a bring in all the threats matchup. Hey, Dark Saga, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Thanks, Dark Saga. Yif23, thank you for the brand new Prime support as well. Welcome, 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 folks. Hope everyone's having a great Friday night wherever you're in the world, or Saturday in some parts. I don't know, like, do they have Shock post-board against us? They should have, like, 5 or 6 counter spells, which is, like, kind of unbeatable. I think I'd rather board into, like, this mopey control deck than what we were doing previously. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Don't go anywhere, folks. Thanks for bringing it out. I'm gonna keep because I can cast my spells. They mulligan, chat. It's easy peasy. Look at that! Look at that! Y'all doubted the power of our mana base, thinking all of our lands were gonna come into play tapped. You just gotta believe, chat. You just gotta believe. Woo! Man, this is almost something resembling a curve. I'm gonna keep because I can cast my spells, the American story. Wow, Brick City. Okay. The good news is they don't really have an answer to this Lyra in sight, right? So like Contempt into Lyra into like Conjecture, pick some stuff back up. It's probably gonna be really good here, right? Not get blown out by anything here. Second bird, yep. Harbor comes in, untapped. Play this. Why not exile a Phoenix? Because the Phoenix is smaller in the long run, whereas the Drake stands to be very scary. All right, that is apparently how you win, how you beat the blue-red Drake deck. How are you doing, folks? Welcome, good evening. If you're new, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I was once upon a time a pseudo-professional Magic player, and now I stream Magic here 30, 40, 50 hours a week. We play nothing but constructed Magic on this channel. We play a ton of Standard here on Arena, and we play a ton of Modern and Magic Online. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 4 months now, and we really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back. Traditional pillow top mattress. Are you someone who thinks you can always find the right line? Well, with Possibility Storm, you can now test your knowledge. Possibility Storm does really awesome Magic puzzles with difficulties ranging from beginner to expert. We're actually going to be doing one of their puzzles live on stream after we finish up this set of games with the 5-color decks. Definitely hang out and check that out. It's a puzzle that I haven't seen before, so I'm going to be reading it and figuring it out along with the rest of you. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And you might have heard me shuffling this deck of cards here. These are protected by my wonderful BCW sleeves, BCW supplies. We'll love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards or their gaming accessories. Using code Jeff10 at BCWsupplies.com, you can save 10% on all of your orders there. And I would just like to thank everyone for hanging out here tonight. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for stopping by our little slice of the internet here. If you think you enjoy my content, you want to see more of it, my website, jeffhoagland.com, contains basically every slice of Magic I've ever played on it. There's video links at the top where you can find all of my past Standard and Modern videos, as well as well-organized videos with Modern decks and Standard decks that have highlights and grouped together, like all of our Blue-Black Pirates leagues or all the other times we played 5-color Lich, etc. Solving puzzles seems like, with Twitch chat, seems like a really scary idea. I might be planning to put Twitch chat into emote only mode while I try to solve the puzzle. Because I agree, having a bunch of people scream at me does not sound like a good plan. Congrats on the 2K viewers and 1 to 4 color guys. Thank you for the bits, Dougie. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's really awesome to see how much Magic has grown since Arena's popped up here on Twitch. Yeah, lets me cast my spells. Gotta keep. In your experience, do the BCW sleeves wear similar to Dragon Shield? Thinking about trying them. It's been a while since I've used OG Dragon Shields. I know my issue with Dragon Shield mats was I'm someone who shuffles very aggressively when I shuffle a deck of cards, and I would always pop the corners on Dragon Shield mats. So I've been shuffling this deck for a good long while here, and you can see some of the corners have started to bend on it, but none of them have broken on me, which is what I look for in a sleeve. Their shields, the sleeves are also a very good price. They're only $6.50 for 80 sleeves, which is, they're good quality stuff, and they're at a very competitive price compared to what a lot of other sleeves price themselves at. BCW, you get those at bcwsupplies.com. All right, my opponent has basic mountains and played a threat. I'm not sure that we can win the game. Do I plan on posting my suggested version of Blue-Red Phoenix? We played one, maybe after we play another set of games with it. I'm not sure that I have a version that I'm particularly attached to currently for the Phoenix archetype. All right, so I can't cast this Cleansing Nova yet, but I'm not sure I'd want to cast it even if I could. They do not sell in 100 packs, unfortunately. Get to Chemister's Insight here. You know, I'm not sure that I'm going to get to Jeskai Control today. I think I'm going to do elves and then zombies. After playing 3 taking turns decks in a row, my brain has kind of like slowly shut down into itself. And I'm not sure that I want to play another deck that like... I think I'm just going to destroy the Frenzy here. Yeah, I think I want to destroy the Frenzy here. Yeah, if you're a Commander player who has 2 decks, picking up 3 packs of BCWs would be the same as picking up like 2 packs of 100 card sleeves based on what a lot of other people charge. Yeah, next turn I can go Gift of Paradise into Chemister's Insight, which is nice here. Vraska's Contempt is not bad. Huh. So what do I want to do here? I've got 7 mana. I use my shuffling deck a lot, a good deal. I use it actually more off stream too, because like when I'm streaming, like when I sit and like watch a show on my computer, I'm like thinking about stuff. My hands are busy with the shuffling deck. I think Gift into Contempt is the line here too. The problem is that like, if I Gift into Contempt after having Lich's Mastery out, I like get to draw far more cards. It could be right to just Contempt and save the Gift for post-Mastery. The flip side is, I have the Mirari Conjecture to, like, pick the Contempt back up. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna Gift into Contempt here. Just live. Yeah, that's true. The longer we go, the more favored we are. There's the Lich Master himself, by the way. That's Ali Eldrazi, is Ali Andrazi's Twitch username. So you should be sure to click on his name there and give him a follow. He streams 2 days a week here on Twitch. Some Magic the Gathering things like this. I believe you're live Mondays and Thursdays, right, Ali? Honestly, I probably want to kill the Steamkin here, right? Yeah, the Steamkin represents more damage than the Chain Roller at this point. Wanna be Beetle with the sub gift? Thanks, Beetle. Have some emotes, Ollie. Depending on how late you're starting, Ollie, I could dump some people into you. I think I'm going for like 3 or 4 more hours. Yeah, probably a little bit more than that. 4 hours or so. But if you're still on when I'm done, I can send folks your way. Am I supposed to Lich here at this point? So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are not foils, thank God. I could also Chemister's Insight, ditch this other mastery. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do that. I think I actually want to start with that. I think I'd prefer to not tap my gift land. It's like I have this extra mastery here, right? Conjecture into Contempt. Conjecture into Contempt's a good suggestion. Yeah, maybe that was best. I can conjecture this turn, though. There is a chance we die next turn. This line I've taken, there is a chance I die next turn. So, I'm giving them a window to, like, deal extra damage here. Like, they just need, like, Strike Shock or, like, Haste Threat here. So maybe this isn't defensive enough. That doesn't bode well for our hero, chat. Okay, all right, so that's a Cleansing Nova. Do I just, like, take Nova and then, like, Nova plus Revitalize here? I guess I could just Lich's Mastery and then start gaining life. I probably just Lich's Mastery and then start gaining life, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Oh, I can Mastery plus Contempt. Yeah, that's the line. You got 3 cards in my bin, 6 cards in my hand, and plenty of things in play. Sweet. I think we've locked it up at this point. They shouldn't be able to deal this much damage to us. And next turn, I'm gonna get to double things up. So I'm gonna get to take 2 extra turns next turn. Ooh, if they hit a lot of burn here, we could be in trouble. Nice risk factor experimental frenzy deck. Just good clean deck building right there. The old mono red combo deck. Yeah, we have more than enough lands that we could exile a few. All right, so this game's not over, but it's over. So this does this, which gives us 2 extra turns, and now this draws 8 cards because it's gonna double, and it's gonna draw 4 twice. Yeah, bye, friend. I appreciate a mono red player who understands when things are over. I know I just shilled. I'm not doing a full shill. Arena has crashed. I'm reloading Arena. The game was so great that Arena needed to wipe its brow afterwards. Yes, just too much. Arena got all hot and heavy at that one. All right, so we're supposed to board in the Knights of Autumn here. That's true. Harry's is great. Check them out. Just because you like to play the degenerate decks doesn't mean you need to look like it, chat. Get your Harry's razors. Use code Jeff Hoagland, save $5. All right, I got like 60 seconds to sideboard here. I think I board in Knight, Clarion, Lyra. Board out Chemisters, Divination. Quick shill, best shill. Thanks for the biddies. Yeah, the only crash I have in Arena happens when the game is over. It's like it's really not that big of a deal. Azcanta's Mopey. Yeah, try my Cleansing Nova because it's expensive. How's the 100 for Harry's coming up? We are currently at... We've had 61 people use the Harry's code. If 49 more people, or sorry, 39 more people, is that right? That math? Yeah, 39 more people use the Harry's code before the end of November, I will clean shave my face. I'll baby face it off. How will my opponent know that I'm a horrible person while playing Turbofog if I don't have a neckbeard? Alright, that's not the white source we were looking for, but it does allow us to cast Discovery, which can dig us to a white source. Ooh. Am I just revitalizing? I think I actually want to dig here. Should have time to cast these in a hot second. Famous last words. All right, well, we're gonna take the very castable Deafening Clarion here. The just incredibly castable Deafening Clarion. Digging for a red source, a red source, a red source. Look at that, see? You had your doubts, chat. I said incredibly castable and I was not lying. Just gotta believe. I get by with a little help from my friends. Do 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 do. All right, here's hoping we get to untap. Oh no! Oh no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gotta do this. I think it might be time to roll on to the third game, chat. I would like the record to reflect that we are technically not dead on board. Pass the turn. All right, you got me. I'm gonna run with it. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. I'm gonna run it back. Run it back. I'd like the record to be updated. We didn't die to the board though. We died to the top of their deck. It's a very important distinction. I have a hard time mulliganing hands that can cast their spells in this deck. I can't in good conscience mulligan a hand that casts its spells in this deck, I feel like. Woo! A piece of candy, chat. Ye of little faith. Turn 5 Lyra Dawnbringer. Turn 4 Lyra Dawnbringer. Easy game, easy life. What are the odds there's Fight with Fire in their deck? Like almost 0, right? And we have 2 white sources. Just perfects. This makes double white, chat, for those that are missing it. I know I'm often sarcastic. I am not being sarcastic here. We're gonna cast this Lyra next turn. Through the gift of paradise, chat, I bring you Lyra Concession Bringer. God, look at that. Look at that pippity pop. She's just gonna get like double lightning struck. The pride cometh before the fall, chat. Never forget, the pride cometh before the fall. It was an SCG Classic, Goons. Classics are different than Opens. Important distinction. Opens are 2-day tournaments. Justice Strike is red-white. She could get Lightning Strike plus Wizard Lightning. She could get Shock, Firebranded. Even if they double spell her, that's like not the worst for us. They'd like could be better, but it's not the worst, right? I'd be pretty surprised if Lava Coil was in their deck. Do you not realize this card has First Strike? This block is free, right? This is the freest of blocks. Can anybody name me a Magic card that punishes this block? She has First Strike. Sure Strike? Call. They could have the red-white split card that gives +2/+2 to a creature. Pretty unlikely in their mono red deck. I wonder if they didn't realize she has First Strike. I bet they didn't realize she has First Strike. That's what that was. They didn't realize she had First Strike. Well, if they had that card, it would have been red, which would have made their card a 6/6. All right, up to 30. No big deal. Mono red game, easy. Ali, should there be another Lyra in this deck? This card's been absurd. This card beat the Drake deck for us earlier. Lyra's been very good. First and only warning, we do not use the word retarded in this channel in the derogatory manner. Do that again and you'll be permanently removed from my chat, please and thank you. I'm gonna put a second Lyra in the sideboard. And then we're gonna play one more with this before we move on to elves. No, actually, one of my subs helped me get Deckmaster compiled for Linux. Thanks, Arwoods. You know, it doesn't cost you a lot to treat other people with decency. I'm actually gonna get rid of this Clarion. I think I'm not super high on that. Getting red early is kind of tough, and Lyra's been really good. Oh, you just have you have changes? Changes. Did you also cut the Clarion? You also cut the Clarion? That's funny. I like how I just like came to the same conclusion you did. Arwoods, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome. Welcome to Huglandia. Thanks for supporting my little slice of the internet. What do you think of a straight MMR system put into Arena? I think that's not very necessary. Straight MMR doesn't make a whole lot of sense for games that have as much variance as Magic, I think. I haven't played Magic probably in a long time, but it's really fun to come back and see how much has changed. Oh, this is a great time to get back into Magic. Arena is everything a lot of us Magic players have wanted for a very long time. Cardboard Nomad, thank you very much for the Prime support. Welcome. Like I said, I kind of have a hard time mulliganing any hand with this deck that can cast all of its spells. So I'm gonna keep this. If you're an OSX user who's slightly technically inclined, Arena runs very well using Wine. I'm actually streaming Arena from a Linux computer right now, running it through Wine. Yeah, I probably just want Mastery ASAP in this matchup. And I kind of need a Black Source, so I guess I'm keeping both of these. I love playing against Overgrown Tomb with this deck. All three of these decks that we've played here recently are very good against these Overgrown Tomb decks. It's quite fantastic. Thanks, Nomad. If both units have first strike, they deal damage to each other at the same time, just like normal combat damage. Now, I don't think you really need Reliquary Tower. Also, like, colorless lands in our 5-color mana base aren't particularly appealing. I think I'm going to go ahead and cast Revitalize here. While we could save it for post-Mastery, we kind of need to draw some cards to not die to get to Mastery, I think, here. We also need another black source. Oh, I guess I could have isolated Chapel to Contempt this turn. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to go Chapel Contempt this turn to stem the bleeding. I mean, this is Magic. Like, variance happens. I'm hesitant to say unlosable, but this matchup is very, very good for this deck. This is Magic standard constructed format. I pretty much only play constructed Magic on this channel. Great Star, thank you for the 7-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Sweet, isolated Chapel. Okay, so I think we just run the old end step chance, untap mastery, do stuff. No, I pretty much only play standard and modern here. So for those that aren't familiar with my system, so I have a deck queue on my website here, which the people that sub and donate and stuff like that to my channel put decks into the deck queue, and then we pretty much only play viewer submitted decks on this channel. This attack is, so they're playing around Settle the Wreckage here, which is great since we don't have it. So this makes us lose the game at the end of this extra turn here, but I'm going to have Lich's Mastery in play, which says you can't lose the game. I am standing while I stream. Sitting for long periods of time is not fantastic for your body, so I try not to do it. I split my streaming time about 50-50 standing and sitting. Also, standing up helps me keep the energy going during long streams. We've been live for about 5 hours so far. Wait, what? Did I click through their thing? Whoa, I totally clicked through it. Someone said, did you click through your chance to play Mastery? And I think I did. I must have, right? I must have cast it on my turn and then taken another turn. All right, whoops. Sorry about that. I fudged the interface there. We've been going for about 5 hours and I'm answering questions while we go. I definitely messed that up. Friendly reminder to people that are new in chat. You'll notice that someone there just got fragged, probably for typing !punt. The goal of my chat here on this stream is to be constructive and specific. So things like spamming !punt when I've made a mistake, they don't really help anyone learn. They don't really help anyone grow. So that's not welcome here. The bot times people out when they type !punt in chat. I always welcome people pointing out my mistakes, but you need to be constructive and you need to be specific. No, you don't need to cast it on your turn. You need to cast it on your opponent's end step. I guess I can cast my spells. I guess I can cast my spells. This hand really isn't very good though, right? I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Yeah, this is much better. It needs another land, but like we've got Discovery to get to another land. We got a Scry as well. Perfect. I messed up the timing. I must have clicked past their end of turn when I intended to cast the thing. I ended up casting it on my turn, which meant I just had one more turn. I'm gonna take the Sacred Foundry. I'm not gonna take the Temple Garden. I definitely want a 4th land, but like this is a 5th mana source, so I don't want to flood too much here. We play constructed and keep chat constructed. Constructive. Okay. So this deck or something close to it won one of the recent SCG Classics, which are usually like 8 or 9 round tournaments. This deck's very reasonable against these black-green mid-range decks, but it kind of struggles against the more aggressive decks in the format and things that are more controlling. So if you're expecting to play a lot of decks right in the middle of the format, this deck's very reasonable. But otherwise, it can have a hard time against some other things. Oh, Duress is brutal. Alright, so do I Acquisition this turn? No, I think I'm just going to Contempt and Stem the Bleeding. It's going to kill this Jade Light Ranger. If you're interested, so this is the last match that I'm going to play with this deck today. If you want to see more of this deck, you can check it out on my website, my YouTube channel, jeffhoagland.com. I had someone do a Cut the Line for Elves, Johnny, so just Jeskai Control got pushed off for today. Yeah, this deck is very expensive on Arena. There are a ton of rares. I could tutor for a Lyra. Okay, I can see that being good. I don't know, if they play like Vivian, I just die. Yeah, the aggressive decks that have access to counterspells are definitely the hardest matchups for this. Yep. No, yeah, I'm not playing another Control League. We're gonna play some elves after this, and we're gonna play some green black zombies and end of the day beating people down a little bit. Okie doke. Dig. Details on how to submit a deck are here. Don't want a Tomb. I do want a Lich's Mastery. Alright, I'm going to put a stop on their end step. So at their end step, I'm going to Chance for Glory and then untap and Lich's Mastery. Those are my favorite archetype. That's so brutal. Yeah, Mono Blue and Pirates both destroy these decks. They're very, very, very good in these matches. So, fun fact. Mirari's Conjecture, first and second trigger, can get back Discovery, because Discovery and Dispersal is both an instant and a sorcery. I think I'm in for this, just like clean the board up next turn. That's probably not a bad suggestion. Is leave the Mastery on top, draw the Overgrown Tomb. I don't know, so like the problem with that is I don't have any ways to gain health in my hand currently. So like if I set that up to play around a Duress off the top, I am very likely to brick off and not do anything. Yeah! Cleansing Nova! Woo! Cleansing Nova! How much mana do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to take Discovery here. I could get the Mastermind's Acquisition, but I think I want to use my mana this turn. Goodbye, friends. Huh. If I wait a turn on this, I could double it. But the flip side is, so I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I only have 8 mana. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to wait. If they play 2 threats here, do I... Okay, so now I just double Dispersal, right? Now we just double Dispersal. Bye, friends. All right. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Does this Azcanta feel like home to anybody else? Azcanta feels like home. I'm gonna bin that. Sure, yep. When they really want you to have it. Ooh, ooh, a piece of candy. Don't mind if it does. I appreciate someone who knows when the game is over. I appreciate someone who knows when the game is over. Easy game, easy life. I can cast our spells. Some of them, kinda, maybe. This deck is like the eternal hypothesis, right? I do what I can, Jackson. I do what I can. I'm gonna bin both of these. I need blue mana, and like I already have this Cleansing Nova in my hand to clean up the board, so I probably don't need this Settle the Wreckage. This deck takes infinite turns when people don't concede. This deck takes infinite turns, and then eventually it casts this card Mastermind's Acquisition to grab the card Banefire from the sideboard to deal a bunch of damage to our opponent directly. To be fair, I think this is the first game we've actually had issues with the mana base in this deck. Does the pirate deck have a standard name? If you go to my website here and click on standard decks at the top, you will find blue-black pirates listed there. You can click on in there and get not only my current pirates deck list, but also a playlist of YouTube videos of me playing that deck in the past. Well, that's a kick in the pants. We had one castable spell and they took it away. I guess we just acquisition for the other Cleansing Nova here. Dimir pirates. It's blue-black pirates. Fight me. Wow, they took Conjecture. Okay. Chromatic Lantern is worse than Gift of Paradise because Gift of Paradise gains you 3 life, which not only draws you cards with Lich's Mastery. So basically, Chromatic Lantern is worse with Lich's Mastery than Gift of Paradise. Is this a Planeswalker? Feels like a 6-mana Vraska. They know about the Cleansing Nova. Yeah, 6-mana Vraska makes sense here. So I'm gonna go ahead and Revitalize here because I really need to draw a blue source at some point. I am just gonna go ahead and Cleansing Nova this turn for sure. So it feels good to clean all those away here, but she's actually going to 10, which means we might die next turn. It's very possible that I should have... I can't die with Mastery. That's true. That's true. All right. So, do I just jam Mastery here? I'm going to take 6. There's 6 cards in my bin. Yep, we're going to jam Mastery. All right. Oh, is that how that works? Is that going to trigger this? Oh, no! Oh, no! I didn't know that's how it worked! All right, we died. Well, that's apparently how you lose to green-black. You lose to green-black by not knowing how that interaction works. Apparently, setting your health total counts as losing life. The more you know. Knowledge is power, chat. The more you know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think we probably could have won that game there, having like, that's the first time we've dropped a match to green black with this deck. And so after playing basically the smorgasbord of do nothing dirtle decks that beat green black almost 100% of the time, I actually think I like this one the least. We played Bant Fog and Esper Amulet earlier today that have similar take extra turns game plans, and I really felt like both of those decks had better pivot post-board plans against control decks and just had a little bit more consistency in their main deck. This deck, if we're trying to assemble the combo that is putting together, in addition to the mana base being slightly awkward sometimes because there's 5 colors in it, there's also like, you know, you draw multiple Lich's Masteries and die sometimes. You draw multiple Conjectures sometimes when they're not good and die. And if you weren't here earlier tonight and you didn't catch the Esper Amulet or the Bant Fog deck, those decks are already on my website. The leagues that we just got done playing obviously won't be up there until I'm done streaming tonight, but there's previous leagues that we played with those decks in the past that are up there now. This deck is still really sweet if you have your heart set on playing a 5-color deck. And this is definitely the best 5-color deck I've seen in Standard, but I think from a pure what feels the most competitive standpoint, I like those other 2 decks a little bit more. But, you know, Ali won a classic with this, so it's definitely very reasonable, and I think if you expect to play against a lot of green-black, all 3 of these decks are very good choices for that.